Hi there guys, and welcome back to another video. For those who don't know, my name's Lewis. I own a car sales business called LAS Autobahn Motors in the area of Chesterfield, Derbyshire. I sell vehicles up to about £5,000 and I am simply showing you guys my journey of what it's like being a car dealer in the UK in the current climate that we're in. Before we get started with today's video, I just want to give a big thank you for all the support that I've received so far since coming back onto YouTube. It was a little bit nerving, if I'm honest with you, but you've given some great support. There's some nice comments. We've grown a few subscribers as well. And whilst I've got you, if you can like, subscribe and share, I would really appreciate that, guys. And let's see where this journey takes us. So today, if I am totally honest with you, I am not in the best of moods. And I'll tell you why. I've just had an astronomical VAT bill come out.
It broke.
Yesterday morning, and I've also had an absolute nightmare with a few handbags, which I'm really disappointed in. So I'll go through that a bit later in the video, but I'm just going to spin the camera. Let me just show you the pitch and what's going on. Have we sold any cars? Are we busy? Let's have a look. So for those of you that watched the last video, we did have a blue Jaguar XF which was just parked next to the Mondale estate. That is now sold. So we had a couple of brothers who came down from Newcastle, so about an hour and a half journey, and they did a deal and deliver it on the same day on a finance agreement as well. I'm a little bit cautious of them, and we don't get a commission obviously because we're not FCA registered, but it gets a deal over the line, and that is one that has been done. Just quickly going to this car, guys, because I did touch on this in the last video. Scanned it and it came up with a DPF fault, but I was still quite confused to why it was running so heavy. Quite a loud vibration going through the vehicle. Took the car for a spin and I scanned it again, and it's come up with injector 2 and injector 3 faults, which will explain why the DPF is clogging up. For those who don't know, DPFs will clog up usually to another issue with the vehicle rather than the DPF itself. And on this case, if it has got injector faults, which it obviously has, that would cause a DPF to clog up and not be able to do a regen when needed. So that one's booked in a garage that I used to be done. It's too big of a job for me, guys, if I'm honest. I've not got the right tools for doing injectors, and I have had one attempt of doing them and they were so heavily stuck in the block, I just couldn't get them out. So a bit embarrassing, and not a job I fancy doing. So we'll get that booked in with the garage, and that one's going next week. For those that saw in the last video, I ordered a fuel cap for this Astra. It bloody turned up wrong fuel cap. The description said for a Vauxhall Astra this shape, but unfortunately it looks like a fuel cap for like a Vauxhall Mokka or an Insignia. So it's flat, where on these Astras, obviously you've got that sharp ridge, if you can see that there. So a little bit frustrating. We'll see if they give me a refund, but I have ordered another one just in case. This Kia Soul, we'd not had a whisper on this vehicle, unfortunately, which I thought it was going to be popular, but it seems like it's not. But we have had an inquiry on this today from a customer who lives in Dorset. She has asked for delivery. I gave her a quote, she's not got back to me yet, so we'll see how that one goes. Suzuki SX4 was a bit frustrating. Took a deposit on this vehicle, and it was a young lad, I think he was only 19, and he did an insurance quote, and unfortunately it came back too high. Not sure why that is. I'm not sure if it's the engine or because it's a 4x4. Not too sure. So back up for sale, and yeah, hopefully we get a punter on that one soon. This Vauxhall Insignia, this is another one that we ordered the parts for. So this one's missing the front badge. We've ordered that, and I believe it's now arrived. We've had a few packages come today, so we'll have a look and see if that is one that's arrived, and we'll get that boxed off, get it looking a little bit better, and then hopefully makes it look a bit more appealing for somebody to have a crack on it. It's a great car, 2017. I think it's got 98k on the clock. We've just had a brand new timing chain done on it, so it'll make a great value for money vehicle for somebody. I like the colour, but I've heard it's not the most popular, so we'll just have to see with that one. Get that front badge on, and we'll see where we go from there. Audi A3, just test drove that, just to make sure that the repair that we did in the last video has fixed it. That one's running bang on the money now, so no doubt, I don't think this will be here long. We had someone who came down the other day on it. We'll see if they come back, but if not, no doubt there'll be another customer for that one. Nissan Pulsar, another one that's been lingering about too long. We had someone come down on this a few days ago. It was a bloke who, I think he said he'd been banned from driving or something like that. All felt a little bit fishy, if I'm honest with you. So I decided not to go ahead with that. I know it sounds terrible to say, but in my eyes, if your gut instinct is telling you something's wrong, follow your gut instinct, and yeah, you won't go wrong from doing that. We had a son and mum come down and view this one 2 weeks ago. So this car is now priced at 2,150. That's a 61 plate Fiesta, 5-door. I think it's got 115k on the clock. Anyway, I've received an email today to say they are concerned about the car because of a couple of marks on the bumper. And I'll just try and show you this. They're the marks that they're complaining about. And this is what you're dealing with at the minute. And it sounds terrible. I don't like talking bad of customers, but I am finding that people are just wanting cars for literally pennies. You know, they want to pay £2,000 for a car, but have it immaculate. That just does not exist. And it's something that is frustrating me slightly, if I'm totally honest. We had a customer come down on this one. Again, another dad and son. He was fantastic on the phone. And for whatever reason, when he came down, he was not an happy bunny. Just as soon as he got out of the car, I went over to shake his hand, completely refused to shake my hand, and was just very off with me from the get-go. So I politely said to him that I didn't want to go any further with the car. And yeah, so he went back home, and that was that one. So I've got a few parts here that have come for some cars that we need to sort out. I am trying my new Ray-Ban Meta glasses, so we'll see how that one goes. But let's open these up, we'll see what we've got, and then we'll get them fit to the cars. Okay, so first one, we've got the badge. This one's for the blue insignia on the front. That's bang on. Okay, so we've finally got the correct fuel filler cap for the Astra. Bang on, because that was really, really frustrating me. Right then, so these are our goodies. We've got fuel filler cap for the white Astra outside. We've got the front badge for the Vauxhall insignia on the front. And we've also got the front grille for the Seat Leon. So we'll get them fit. We'll start with a simple one, which is the insignia badge. Let's start with this one. I believe it should. It says, okay. So, because it's snapped off, we'll have a look. Okay, so let's clip that in, and that is a job done. So with this Seat, obviously the grille is broken. As you can see, got a new one here. Let's get this bonnet popped up. And how does this come out is the question. So this one, apologise if there's any noise guys, but this should just come out of its clips. Easier said than done. So unfortunately, the breakers yard that I used, I've sent the wrong effing grill.
Congratulations! Oh my god.
As you can see, which is frustrating. So that is not a job that I'll be doing today, so I'll have to get back on the internet and I'll have to order another one. So next one is, let's get this fuel cap on. So like I said, the last one that came was wrong, a bit frustrating, but another one ordered, and this should simply, so it goes into the grooves there, clips in, and that is a job well done. So that's a wrap up for today in terms of things getting done on the pitch. Managed to box a couple of jobs off, being with the Astra filler cap and the Vauxhall insignia front badge. It is a shame with the Seat Leon with the front grille, but what can I do? I've obviously ordered the wrong part like an absolute numpty. But moving on to the trade itself. So how are we doing in the month of April? Well, as simple as I could put it, we're not doing very well up to now. So we've managed to sell 6 cars for the month of April so far. Unfortunately, probably about 50% of them cars break even or make little very margin, purely because of prep costs, and also the buying climate is very tough at the minute to get cars at the right price. And obviously we do still need to keep cars on the pitch, and sometimes that means you make bad decisions when purchasing vehicles. You pay too much for them, and then you get the backlash at the end when you look at your profit and it's not where it needs to be. But what else is going on in the world at the minute? Well, there's obviously the war that's going on with places like Iran. There's a lot going on with our Donald Trump making a lot of announcements, and clearly it is making people scared to make purchases. Now, this government that we've got, in my opinion, has absolutely sabotaged small businesses like myself, increasing taxes, corporation tax, all that sort of stuff, making margins which were already tight even tighter. Sometimes you do think to yourself, guys, how can you make a living in this trade? And I'm not just talking about the motor trade. I know it sounds selfish. There's other businesses that are really struggling out there. I know there's a lot of furniture stores that are closing down because people at the minute are thinking to themselves, rather than buying new furniture or a new car, I'm just going to make this one last. You know, if a vehicle's got a fault with it, I'll get by with it. Or say if your sofa's damaged, it will last another year. And that is because people don't know where their money is coming from. The cost of living has just got absolutely ridiculous in the UK. And I've got a feeling it's going to get even tougher, especially for the motor trade. There's a lot of noise going on at the minute. And I'm not saying this is bad for customers, by the way, but expectations of customers are getting way too high for used vehicles. Obviously, we sell vehicles up to about £5,000, usually on average about £3,000. Understandably, them cars are not going to be perfect. That is the facts of it. You know, they're going to have a little scuff on it here and there because it's a used vehicle. Now, customers, a lot of what I'm finding are trying to part exchange with myself a vehicle that's on finance and purchase a £3,000 car in return. Now, I outright just do not do a deal like this. The reason why I don't do deals like that is simply because I find that them customers expect that this £3,000 car is going to be of the same quality of this, just say, £15,000 car that they've been financing over the past couple of years. I had a customer who came to see a little Ford Fiesta that we've got, a little white Fiesta. Price was £2,250. I said they could have it for £2,150. There's no margin in that car, guys. I might be looking to make £400 or £500 out of it. And they emailed me yesterday saying they was concerned at a scuff on the back of the bumper. And I'm like, what are you expecting at that sort of price range? As long as the car's mechanically safe, it's got a fresh MOT on it, it's been prepped, what can you grumble about for £2,000? And that is where we're at. I have been looking at other YouTubers who do car sales like myself, who are talking about upping their prices, so going for a newer stock. And I am thinking about doing the same, because I'm finding a lot at the minute that by the time I've sold my stock and it warranty and all that sort of stuff, you're left with an absolute sliver. Half the time you're losing money or breaking even. I got to my August end of year accounts and I made a whopping £28,000 in the whole year. I paid myself minimal money and I earned a profit of that. And how is that feasible? So things have got to change, and that's why I keep saying in the past couple of videos, I've got to simplify what I'm doing. And I've got to really think about, is this market where I am at worth it? Which is a shame, because I love selling value for money vehicles to people. And I get a bit of pride when I put a vehicle back on the road. I give it a little bit more life. But it's becoming unfeasible and unmanageable to do it. So I'd like to hear any feedback from other garages, other car sales places. How are you finding the trade at the minute? Are you worried? Are you finding things difficult? Are sales slow? Do you think they're going to get harder going forward in the next couple of months? Let me know. But that's just a quick video for today. I apologise for the rant. There's something a bit therapeutic when you're talking to yourself through a camera. If you can, like, subscribe, comment and share. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And again, I really appreciate the support that we've had since coming back on YouTube. But that's a wrap for today, guys. Take care and we'll see you for the next one.